Hello YouTube, this is Reptile Keller here, and today, as you can see what I have in front of me, is my new Venus Flytraps. I got them last week from Crohn's Conservatory, and I have been able to keep them alive so far. I've had them in the past before I started YouTube, and I have not done a good job of keeping them. So I'm just going to give you some natural history on them, and just if you get one, what to expect. So first, looking at my plant, we have the traps. This has a fairly large group of them. Also, there's some small young pups or young offshoots. You can see down there, if my camera would focus. Well, it focused for a second, but yeah. The main plant shoots off lots of little offshoots, which you could take and turn into new plants. But these guys come from the boggy regions in the United States of the states of North and South Carolina. So I live in really boggy conditions. Normally you don't want to overwater a plant or keep it sitting in water, but in this case you do. As you can see in my setup, there's water on the bottom, which I need to clean out, dump out, and refill. And the water is, you could use rainwater. Yeah, pure rainwater, distilled water. I'm trying to get this to focus. Distilled water, rainwater. I use bottled water because I'm living in a dorm, and these guys also like high sun. And also something to keep an eye on is to make sure you pull out all the dead leaves when they're fully dried out or fully ready to be pulled out, because these guys don't want nutrients. They get their nutrients from insects. That's why they have the traps. So they need no additional nutrients. So no fertilizers, no organic soil. Get as sterile a condition as you can. They want no minerals, no nutrients, nothing. So I need to go through and try to pull more of these out. There were a few more dead traps in there earlier. Yesterday I pulled them all out. So yeah. Let's see, there are a few different species, and they are also vulnerable. They are also vulnerable species, so keeping these guys alive in captivity is important, because bogs are always in trouble from development, from our housing developments. They want to be turned into houses. So let's see. Yeah, there's a few different species. Let's see, I'm using what is it? I did this before with the leopard slug. Or I found a better site for leopard slug, but right now I'm just using Wikipedia. Just as a thing to glance off of. But yeah, let's look at the traps themselves, and let's hope this focuses. I hope it focuses on the trap. Come on, this is the perfect one. I just needed to focus. Come on, focus on the trap. There we go. Ah, dang. But there's lots of little there's multiple groups of hairs in there. I think you can see that the red dots on the trap itself. You kind of see that there. Let me see if I get this one in focus. But yeah, there are multiple hairs, and an insect walks in, has to hit it two or three times to get the trap to close. And say like a raindrop falls on it or something, and it only triggers the hairs once. It will not close because it has to be triggered 2 or 3 times. And then the insect, once it's trapped in there, will keep on moving around, keep hitting those hairs, so the trap will close even tighter and start releasing digestive juices to drown and digest the insect. Then after about 10 days, the trap will open and there will be a dried insect, and then that's when you want to take the insect out so another one could go in there as prey. So let's see. Yeah, I have young fly traps, so I won't be getting any what is it? I won't be getting any flowers this year, but they have actually pretty nice flowers. They extend about let's see, let me find it. They have a few inches high. Let's see. It's close up. Well, it has a very long flower stem. Like, let me show you this picture. This is from Wikipedia. Like, here's the flower stem. So it's about a foot, maybe a little bit less or a little bit more, but yeah, it needs to stay away from these traps so they could get pollinated, without getting the pollinators trapped in its own traps. So it needs them to pollinate the flowers without killing them. So that's why it has such a long stem, along with all other carnivorous plants. Let me see, did I miss anything? That's flowers. So this is what it says here. I don't know how right this is. So like 33% ants in their diet, 30% spiders, 10% beetles, 10% grasshoppers, and fewer than 5% flying insects. I don't know if that's in captivity or what. I think that's all for all of the carnivorous plants in the family. Oh, the camera was off while I was looking at that. And the trap's closed by something called elastic turgor growth, or elastic turgor. So they have a stimulus, which is, what was it? I was just learning about this. So mainly, there are cells in the traps of the plant that run all along it, and there is calcium hydrogen ions, and those quickly move out of the cells when triggered by the hairs, and the trap quickly closes. See, you can look up anywhere online about a trap closing. I'm not going to close mine because this is a new plant and it already has one trap closed. Some insect must have gotten in when it was in the gift shop, and it was very unlucky. It flew into the wrong building. Let me see, anything else? Yeah, sundews also have that turgor method of wrapping around something. Okay, there's habitat. I already talked about that. Oh yeah, they also go through dormancy. They're not really most people think of them as a tropical plant, but they aren't really that tropical. They have multiple different times of the year that they go through. Like, they go through different seasons, like we do here in Ohio or wherever you live. So right now, this plant has a mix of winter and summer leaves. Winter, spring, summer leaves. The winter leaves are the big fat leaves that you could see, like in the back here. Let me see. Oop, I'm not used. There we go. It's hard to do this. Try to look at this. You have winter leaf, and then we have the summer leaf, which is thinner and raises the trap higher. The winter leaf is just meant to soak up as much sun as possible and not worry about catching insects too much. The summer leaf is meant to catch insects. And there's also fall and spring leaves, but this plant seems like it doesn't have any. Actually, no, here's a spring leaf. As you can see, it's a little bit wider, or a little bit wider than the summer leaf, and a little bit thinner than the winter leaf. And then there's no fall leaves yet. I'll point that out when fall actually comes. So yeah, they need to go through dormancy. All the leaves will die off, and you will need to and then you will need to drain down a lot of the water. Keep the water low. Keep it kind of boggy and moist, but just don't have it sitting completely in water. And then just let the plant do its thing in a cooler temperature area. So yeah, if I had an insect to feed it, I would show you guys, but I don't have that, so but you can look that up anywhere really, so yeah. So if you have a fly problem in your house, like for example, I keep a lot of plants, and this year I had a big issue with little black fungus gnats, and they don't like the Venus flytrap soil. It's too wet for them, but they do like what's in the flytraps themselves. So if I have another fly outbreak, the adults will get eaten. So yeah, that was all. I hope you enjoyed this little hybrid of using my computer to look at stuff and looking at the plant itself that's right in front of you. If you want me to do more like this, let me know. I would do it for my other plants. I'm probably going to do that for my air plant. But yeah, that is all. Remember to like and subscribe.